Hi everyone, this is Kevin the Switch Hippie here with another exciting episode of New Vinyl. I threw you for a loop on that one, huh? New Vinyl. And today's new vinyl selection is Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones, the 1967 psychedelic classic by the Monkees. And I have here on green translucent vinyl from Rhino Records. Now, when I was a kid, if you wanted to get a Monkees record, this was in the 70s, the Monkees were not popular. And all they had were the old Cold Gem albums, so you'd have to find used, right? Because they had stopped pressing them. Somebody smart at Rhino Records says, this stuff is good. Let's re-release it. So they bought the rights for all the Monkees material, and they re-released the albums back in the 80s and 90s. And I had several of those too. So, like I said, this is their 1967. This is their fourth album. And in my opinion, this is an absolute psychedelic classic and an important work for that time period. A lot of other bands of that era, we don't hear much about them anymore. You don't hear about Herman's Hermits or Gary Lewis and the Playboys, but we're still talking about the Monkees because of albums like this. So let's just get into it right quick. So their third album, Headquarters, after receiving so much bad press and calling the fake Beatles or whatever, because they didn't play their own instruments on the records. Well, back then, nobody did. The Beach Boys didn't do that. If you heard any pop record by any band, it could even be the Turtles, you're not going to hear their band playing. You're going to hear the Wrecking Crew, the studio musicians in LA playing. So the Monkees had really good studio musicians playing with a James Burton, a Hal Blaine, and Glenn Campbell. They were all played on these early Monkee records. Which to me, it's not an issue with me that they didn't play their own instruments, because this product that was called the Monkees, I think was good, regardless of who played on it. So, but anyways, after that, after Headquarters, they made that album just themselves playing. After Headquarters, they released this, November 1967. And in my opinion, like I said, it is just an absolute psychedelic classic. It should be, when you think about that age, it should be clumped into like Sgt. Pepper, but it's not as good as Sgt. Pepper, obviously, or Magical Mystery Tour. But it is of that ilk, and it's of that maybe importance, I would say, for that type of music and that time of that year, in the 1960s. So let's get into it right quick. One of the things I didn't like about the Monkees always is that I don't like Davey Jones. His music isn't interesting. Yes, Valerie is good. Daydream Believer is good. The Girl That Look Out, Here Comes Tomorrow. These are really good songs, but a vast majority of his tracks are not good. They're just boring. And I skip over them, and I know that Monkee fans, they love Davey Jones. But he was very bubblegum, and I don't think he maybe fit in well with the rest of the band, but on this album, I think he does a really better job with that. Yes, the one track he starts off side 2, Hard to Believe, is that kind of poppy stuff, and I've listened to this album a million times. I can't tell you how that song goes, right? Because I always skip over it. But he does 2 good songs, She Hangs Out and Star Collector, which both, in my opinion, are just fabulous psychedelic tracks. Star Collector is absolute brilliant work, weird, wacky psychedelic, and Davey Jones just gives it yeehaw on the whole thing. So I give a thumbs up for Davey Jones on this album. The other thing too is that the Nesmith tracks on here I think are absolutely brilliant. I don't think there's a bad Nesmith track. He sings Salesman. He starts off as Salesman, which is he didn't write that, but he just sings it really well. And he's got The Door into the Summer, which is a fabulous song. Love Is Only Sleeping. Again, another great song. The other one I like is he does Don't Call on Me, which is kind of a beautiful jazzy song, and I think the guy who produced the Monkees actually plays piano on it. And then, of course, he wrote Daily Nightly, which we'll talk about in a second, but it was actually sung by Dolan. So let's flip over to the Mickey Dolan song. Cuddly Toy is a Nielsen song, right? And Dolan's used to hang around with Nielsen, and in the 70s it was Dolan's, Nielsen, Keith Moon, Alice Cooper. They're all pals with each other, right? So Cuddly Toy is that kind of weird Nielsen kind of vibey thing. I don't know if you're familiar with Nielsen, but his stuff is not normal, right? We were at the Cuddly Toy, but it's not really about cuddly toys. He's writing about something else. And the other one the other Mickey Dolan song on here that's really great is Words, right? Words was a big hit, and I think it's beautifully produced with the wind chimes on it. And he does the Daily Nightly, which, like I said, the Nesmith song, which in my opinion is a psychedelic classic, right? He uses a Moog synthesizer. Mickey Dolenz went to Monterey Pop Festival in 1967, where they were selling the first Moog synthesizers, and he bought one, and he plays it on this record, Daily Nightly, which was Nesmith wrote it about the Sunset Strip riots in LA in '66, I think. But Dolan's does the vocals on it, and to me, it is a companion piece to the Beatles' Tomorrow Never Knows. It is of that ilk, and it is of that psychedelic quality that I think is certainly one of the best songs, one of the best Monkees songs. And if you saw the TV show, they have a video of it, which is absolutely incredible. And Star Collector, Jones' song, also has a Moog synthesizer on it, though Dolan's doesn't play the Moog on that. But the Moog synthesizer is just so weird and so wacky and so out there. It is just a great listen. So, absolutely fabulous. The one thing that the Torque, now Peter Tork is in a different world when it comes to the Monkees, and sadly I don't think he really played a lot on the Monkee records, which is a shame because he was actually a pretty talented musician. I have his one solo album he made I think was really good, probably even up there with some of the Nesmith stuff as well. So you get the one Peter Patterson personal thing, which is stupid and a throwaway, and I don't know why they put it on there. I wish they would have put something else on there from Peter Tork, like they did on the Head soundtrack, like Do I Have to Do This All Over Again? Prithee is another great psychedelic song that he put on the 33 and a Third Revolution per Monkee. He did all these great songs, but they just never, I don't know, the producers, they said, we don't want him to play. Which is probably why he left the band, because what was he doing? So it's a shame. He does play a lot of the instruments on there, but again, I would like to have heard more Torque. More turn up the Torque. And anyways, it was just a shame that he was never able to play a lot more on these Monkees records, because I think that he would have probably been a valuable asset. Maybe gets rid of some of the Davey Jones songs, I don't know. Anyways, this is a great album. If you have a chance to get it, pick it up, get it on CD, listen to it on Spotify or whatever, and you can just, like I said, wonderful, great psychedelic album from 1967. I mean, I like this. I like Odyssey and Oracle. It's just one of these really Pink Floyd's first album. It should be up there in that list of great psychedelic albums, but I don't think it ever is. So I would say, like, this is probably my favorite Monkees album. Then I like the soundtrack to Head, I thought was really good. And the Birds and the Bees and the Monkees were really good too. Most of the other stuff, especially after Torque left, is completely forgettable. The first album was okay. It has a couple of really good songs on it. And then the second album I thought was a pretty good album too. But I would say if you want to get one Monkees album, I would say buy this. Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, Jones. So anyways, that's my review of this album. Subscribe and like, and we'll talk to you guys later next time I find a really cool album. And I love the new vinyl too. I know you guys think I just collect old stuff, but I love new stuff, the new vinyl stuff that comes out. So anyways, we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.